Jeez, mate. You see, isolation's treating you well.
I know, mate. I look a little bit like Tom Hanks in Cast.
Castaway.
Um,
Wilson!
I've gone from
Uh,
Ryan Gosling to Tom Hanks.
you're never Ryan Gosling, mate. How are you?
I'm good, mate. How are you? I'm good.
Yeah, I'm all right. I'm all right.
How is
Uh,
isolation treating you?
yeah, I am struggling a bit with it. I think I've got a big old job list to get through. Um, got uni work. All business ventures have been paused, um,
Does that
including
involve?
people
Does that
chatting.
involve? Yeah, I was going to say that involves a certain year, obviously.
Thanks. But yeah, it's all right. Like I'm just checking in with people, like the boys or my family and stuff, making sure they're all right and what they're up to. Nobody's doing anything of any great interest. I've painted most walls in my house at them so far. Um, so yeah, it's all right. What have you been doing with your time?
Just that, just sitting here looking at walls, just thinking, what do I do next? Now, mate, we've done a few things. We had a lot of fun last week on Friday night. We recreated the Springbok, famous South Africa Springboks win for
You did
Tigers.
that. Well done.
We'll do another one this weekend, which is very exciting on Saturday. Very famous victory for the club. Um, look at the suspense we've built. Um, Mate, we're reaching out to season ticket holders, checking in on them, bit of make that call, which has been really fun because it's quite interesting hearing the boys have those personal one-on-one chats, and you get a real insight, don't you, into people who genuinely are struggling a lot more than most of us are.
Do are they appreciating it? The lads reaching out.
Yeah, very much. I think the boys are appreciating it. I think the boys are appreciating someone to talk to other than their wives and children.
Yeah, that's a fair point.
Yeah.
It must also be kind of nice for you to not be fielding the abuse that we've been getting on certain weeks.
Yes. The world's become very unified. It's lovely.
Yeah, the
Everyone.
community feel to coronavirus is a big positive for you.
Yes. Well, it's things like this, isn't it? You see the best in people usually, which is good. You can obviously see the worst in people as well.
I can see the worst in you right now. Yeah.
I'm just a voice, mate. People don't understand what actually goes on behind the camera. So, yeah, it's nice. It is nice. It's been a tough couple of years online for Leicester Tigers and for you boys. But, you know,
Yeah.
the levels at which it's reached in the last 12 months were getting absurd. And hopefully people are starting to get some perspective. And I think hopefully people are seeing that things are moving in the right direction. I don't want to speak for the club, so to speak, but I think the decisions made over the last 6-7 months in particular, you know, the journey, so to speak, that the club is on is a much more positive one than it might have been 2 years ago or 18 months ago. And, you know, Geordie's leading the charge. We've got Steve Borthwick coming in, which is very exciting. You know, the re-signing of some key guys like the Youngsters and George and Ellis, and then some key young guys as well, and some new additions coming in, which are very exciting next year. So I think, you know, there's a couple more to come as well, which is exciting. New additions and more re-signings, and I think things are moving in the right direction. And, you know, fingers crossed this stuff moves on and everyone's healthy and happy and get back on the pitch, finish this season, and then crack into next year, and the club can keep building back towards the top of the pile.
Yeah. It's you know, obviously we don't want to get into too much detail with everything, do we? But like, it's a tough old situation. Like, you know, obviously it's well known now that there is a wage reduction coming across the league, not just for players but for staff, including all you guys as well.
That's why I can't
And
get a haircut.
yeah, and it's tough. You know, it's everybody involved with the game that's struggling. And I think, you know, it'd be really interesting because, you know, we'll get to more what we're planning on doing in a minute, but it would be interesting to find the different perspectives on the whole thing. But I think, you know, the human element to this is definitely definitely tough, isn't it?
Yeah, I think you talked about the stuff I see online, which is negative. I get the chance to see the positive stuff too. And you do see how people are hopefully getting some more perspective during this time and that human sense, but also little things like chatting with fans and understanding that for those who are older than us or struggling with other things, I think this has also put a backseat on other illnesses and other things as well, hasn't it? So there's people still suffering with plenty of other things, and you're very aware of the mental health side of most things in life, and this would be hard for anyone who struggles with that or anyone who doesn't struggle with that. So it'll be interesting to hear from people and see how different people are dealing with it. And then there's probably a comedy side to it as well, because I would imagine some of your teammates can't handle being alone as much as others who enjoy it.
Very much so. And it'll be interesting to see how everybody's coping with it. But what I think would be a cool thing to do, or what we should let everybody know, is what we're going to do is we're bringing back the Tigers podcast, but in a locked up series where we're going to talk to the other lads, see what they're up to, see how isolation's treating them. Maybe speak to some of the coaches, and maybe even we'll get Mr. Cohen back on for an Ask the Boss season 2. Might not be a great time at the moment, but
no.
Yeah, it'd be good to sort of just get a kind of feel for everybody across the organisation and see how everybody's coping with it, and at least it kind of gives us something to talk about, doesn't it?
Yeah, well, I think that's the hardest thing. I know you said, what am I doing? Well, 90% of our week as a club in marketing, in communications, in everything, it's all been taken away. People are doing a lot less, but in terms of working, they're still working as hard as they were, but there's a lot less to talk about. So we can see how boys are dealing with it. We can see what training you guys are doing, because I know you're meant to be training. Question mark is whether or not you are.
We are training.
Yeah, I'm lucky enough to be retired, so I'm okay.
Retired.
Retired from exercise.
Yeah. We are training. We have an app that we have our daily programs launched on, and we have to follow those to kind of keep ourselves in condition. At the moment the league is postponed, so we're obviously hopeful that it kicks off pretty quick. So we need to be kind of ready to go. But it's obviously it's a real challenge. It's not like boys have got gyms at home with the sort of weights that they need to kind of keep up with stuff. And now that Boris has got us all out on one exercise a day, if you take up your exercise with going and doing some shuttles in the park, that means the dogs aren't getting walked, or or the missus isn't getting walked. But please don't tell her that.
Yeah. I'd be through that door behind you and kill you.
Yeah, exactly. You fucking what? Yeah, so I think it's a difficult situation, but the boys are in good spirits, generally speaking. Bar the wage cut, but boys, we're all rugby players at the end of the day that need each other's company, but we also need that match on a Saturday to sort of get it all out of our system. So I imagine there's lots of partners that are have got boys climbing the walls at home ready to kick off. But yeah, it'd be cool if we just check in with the lads and see how they're getting on.
Definitely. I think you will certainly tire of hearing from me, and I'll tire of hearing from you. So it'd be good to have a third person in this relationship.
Yeah, definitely. Can we do do we do like a high five?
No, we missed it. Hold on.
Like a Bluetooth.
There you go.
3, 2, 1, go. Nice.
Oh, there you go. There's my hand.
All right, cool. Well, I look forward to that.
Yeah, definitely. We'll catch up with a few of the boys, see how they're going, see if the fans want to ask them any questions. And we'll keep checking in on that nice office you've got behind, see if the plant's growing. We'll go from there.
Thanks, mate.